Hey guys, how's it going? The Champions League draw happened today. I didn't realize it happened today until I had a notification in my news feed, probably because Juventus are not in the Champions League. So that's probably why I wasn't aware of when the draw happened. But anyway, it was very rigged. It was scripted. Storyline narratives are in play. What stands out to me is number one, AC Milan are going up against their former players. So Pulisic is now with Milan, and he started out at Dortmund. So Christian Pulisic is going to face off against Dortmund, and then you have Tonali, who was sold to Newcastle, and Tonali is going to get a standing O at the San Siro. So that's what stands out from the start. It'll be the most hilarious thing ever if PSG are relegated to the Europa League, especially with the way that they traded Messi. I mean, that would just be worldwide banter if PSG are sent down to the Europa. Hopefully, that's what happens. If Milan don't go down to the Europa, then this will benefit Juventus in a way. If Milan focus on the Champions League and Juventus suddenly focus on the Scudetto, so I hope Milan gets sent down. But if Milan make it to the knockouts, it's a good thing. But it's even a greater thing for PSG as a Mickey Mouse club if they do get sent out to the Europa League. So let's stop right there. I notice how we've had some rematches. I mean, Man City and Leipzig faced off in the round of 16 last year. Then you had Inter going up against Benfica. So we have a couple rematches in the groups. Lazio and Atletico Madrid. Simeone, the manager of Atletico, played with Lazio from 1999 to 2003. He won the Scudetto with Lazio, and he gets to go up against the Roman club in the Champions League. So that's what stands out right there. Uh, well, I just looked up the technical director of Arsenal, and he was not from Sevilla. He came over from Barcelona. So, but anyway, Arteta is a Spaniard. He can go back home. He can go back to his land of Spain. That is what stands out to me with Arsenal paying a visit to a La Liga side. Group of death is Group F. All the rest of the groups, UEFA is pretty sure who it wants to go to the knockouts. I mean, Celtic challenge Lazio. I mean, Feyenoord are very good. That's another rematch, by the way. Feyenoord and Lazio faced off in the Europa League last year. So hopefully the Feyenoord Lazio. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? The Feyenoord Lazio matches will be pretty interesting. The Scudetto winner and Real Madrid. I don't see any Real Madrid connections there. Well, the new manager Rudy Garcia is a Frenchman. I don't think he's going up against any French clubs. Napoli, their last European trophy came against Stuttgart. That they're a German club, and I see that they have Union Berlin in their group. Well, with Group A, who knows what can happen with Man United? Copenhagen are not really good. Galatasaray could be a challenge for Man United, but Bayern and Man United, at least we get a at least what this draw does, with the exception of Group F, is it saves all the marquee matchups for the knockouts, which is what the fans want to see, anyways. Group F is the most interesting. Newcastle are going to be sent down to the Europa, I believe. Who knows if they make it through to the knockout? I presume Milan will make it through. I presume UEFA will want Mbappe in the knockouts, although that would be just imagine if PSG fail to make it to the knockouts. I mean, this is a group of death, and without Neymar and without Messi, the Mickey Mouse Club just may get relegated in the whole world, and Lionel Messi are celebrating the karmic sending down to the Europa, but I doubt it's going to happen for PSG. I mean, just look, picture this, right? They are a waste of a knockout spot in the round of 16. We already know. You might as well call PSG a waste of a knockout spot in the Champions League. They are a waste of a spot. So hopefully it does happen because they are a waste of a spot. And let's see some new blood in there. Yeah, Dortmund's been there. Yeah, Milan made it to the knockout last year. They might make it again. Pulisic, American owners, Americans need to make some money on the investment. So Milan there, as far as Newcastle goes, I mean, they will advance to stages in the Europa. If it is in the Europa League, it may even contend for the Europa. This Group F. This Group F. That is going to be an interesting group. Well, the winner of the Europa League come from Group F. I mean, all the good sides got sent down last year. You think about it. Juventus got sent down. Atletico got sent down. Um, did Man United get sent down from the Champions League last year? I mean, I think you see all these one-sided groups. It's because a lot of big sides got sent down last season. Dortmund was one of them. They got sent down. Leverkusen, another one. They got sent to Europa. Barcelona did. They got sent down to Europa. Just looking at it. And Juventus. So I think we see some pretty predictable groups because we've seen a lot of big sides go down to the Europa League. I think UEFA are going to want heavyweight against heavyweight. Whatever agenda they have this year for the draw, they don't want these big sides to get sent down to the Europa League. That's the agenda this year. I think the best way to determine who's going to win Group F is to look at the all-time record in European football competitions for each club. They even have Wikipedia pages showing the record for each competition. Newcastle and Milan and Dortmund and PSG, Pulisic and Mbappe stand out. Bayern might be the only German side. Well, Leipzig are going to be there. So, yeah, they'll probably be there. If Dortmund gets sent down to Europa, they may try to push for Bundesliga. But Kane is going to win Bundesliga this year. Bayern are going to win Bundesliga last year. Even in a down year, they couldn't win last year. Dortmund, so Bayern are going to win the competition, and I think the Ligue 1 can be wide open for Marseille and Monaco. Marseille have Aubameyang. I think Ligue 1 is going to be an interesting league this year. So yeah, Sevilla to be in the knockouts this time around, in my view, I believe. Salzburg are pretty good. It's not a given that Benfica are going to go through. Sociedad are there for the first time. Porto kind of have developed an identity of where they expect to make it to the knockout. So I imagine Porto are going to make it to the knockout. Lazio, it's no guarantee they're going to make it there. Celtic are very strong. How does Lazio handle Celtic? Feyenoord are a very tricky team. They made it to the semifinal or the quarterfinal of the Europa. Inter to go through, obviously, the drill, the top of the group. And, Man United would have to really bottle it if they don't make it to the knockouts in that group, despite Bayern, just Galatasaray and Copenhagen. Man United should go through. And I don't care how boring the group stage is. It's about keeping players healthy for the knockouts. If you make it as boring, you don't want too many tough matches throughout the season because they're playing other competitions. They're playing League Cup. They're playing domestic league. So I'm good with the format being this boring until February because it's good for the sake of preventing injuries. If you're already through to the knockout, you can rest players for the Champions League. I mean, it gets younger players experience in Europe. So I think the format is good, but obviously UEFA are going to tinker with it. I think this is the last year under the current format as it is. But these are my predictions, and the uh, Pulisic will score against Dortmund. I think Newcastle and Milan are going to split the results. And PSG, we'll see how they are. Mickey Mouse Club, all this. But definitely Milan to go through. Interesting group.